from the wedding of all weddings. I went to this wedding on Good Friday, if you don't already know, because if you haven't seen my videos before, I went to my niece Jenny's wedding in County Wexford, in a place called Gorey. So we were cutting it fine, flying in on the same day. I went with my husband, my sister and her husband. Our children were invited, but they had other plans and other responsibilities and all sorts going on, so it was just the four of us. I didn't know who was invited. I just sort of went with the flow, got there and was blown away by not only the hotel but the amount of people that were invited. 280 were invited. 210 came, and boy oh boy was it the party of all parties. The hotel couldn't have been more perfect. We went into the foyer, we rushed in, we had an hour and a half to get ready, and what had delayed us slightly was just picking up the hire car, because the flight out was a great big, is it A320 Airbus? I think that's what it was. That was absolutely fine, perfect landing. And we got there. We had a great older air hostess. She was about my age, and she made me laugh. Just looking at her, she made me laugh. She had one of those cheeky faces, and she was going, "Well, to be sure, the pilot's the Easter Bunny today." She really made the whole trip joyous. And anyway, so we got to the airport. We had to go and pick up a hire car, and we had to wait for these little buses to come round to take us to where we were going to collect the hire car. And we kept saying, "Can't we just get on any bus? Surely the hire cars are all more or less in the same place." They went, no, you've got to wait for a certain, if you were Hertz or if you were something else, you had to wait for them, Europe car or whatever. So we waited, and we kept waiting, and we kept waiting, and it was chucking it down. And eventually we got in this little minibus. We were all squished. And when it turned up round the corner, they were all lined up with all the other vans. So we could have gone in another little minibus. It didn't matter that it was the same one, honestly. So that was a bit chaotic. Anyway, we get the hire car and off we go. Perfect. Arrive at the hotel, get our room. We were lucky to be able to check in, me and my husband. My sister had to wait for her room. And then got ready, showered and ready. And when we went to the wedding, it was lovely. In a big room with so many people. It was such a surprise to me, because I don't know why I thought it was going to be just a few people there. I don't know why I thought that, because I know that the groom has got a big family. So people were coming in from all sorts of places, Ireland, Birmingham, everywhere. And anyway, we start the wedding. That's all lovely with her children, because they've got 4 children. They'd always joked that they finally got married, and it was such a joyous occasion with the children there, and the little bridesmaids, they're twins, they're 4. They were gorgeous and so confident, holding each other's hand. That was lovely. And then after the wedding, we come down the stairs while the photographer and videographer are there, and there's afternoon tea cakes all on these beautiful stands. And I thought we meant to, and it was like drinks and fizz and beer, and it was just flowing. And I had 2 of these cakes, so I thought, well, I know we're going to have dinner around 5 or 6. So I had 2 of these gorgeous cakes. I mean, the best ever. I just can't even tell you what they tasted like. It was just delicious. Going to the main meal, the speeches happened first, and the groom's speech was hysterical. It went on for ages. I've got to give credit to Eoin, the groom. I mean, he was on top form. And her dad, Jenny's dad, was brilliant as usual, Bill, my brother-in-law. And so that all went ahead, and we had the most gorgeous meal. I had pork belly to start with, which is something I wouldn't normally choose, but I thought I'm having chicken for a main course rather than the fish. I know Good Friday, as a Catholic, you're meant to choose fish. There was a fish option, beautiful salmon, but I just wanted to go for the chicken, and it was unbelievable. We all just sank into this silence amongst the gorgeousness of this meal. There was so much of it, and we had a beautiful mixed berry crumble, which was slightly warmed with a lovely, I don't know whether it was there was ice cream, but there was a little sort of like swirl of like a custard or a creme anglaise with it. Oh, it was absolutely delicious. But then the food didn't stop there. There was a band on, a huge band, and there were chicken goujons later on in the evening with bowls of chips. I went to bed feeling so full, and because I'd only had an hour's sleep the night before, I was absolutely shattered. And then there was a disco after that and crisp sandwiches. I mean, it just kept flowing. I don't know how on earth they organised all this. There was a cart with little lollipop stands. There were Easter eggs in the foyer. You'll see it on the picture. I don't think I've ever been blown away so much. I was stunned into silence. So what a celebration. And it didn't matter that it rained outside because we were all indoors, and it was just one big party. And yeah, the couple looked so happy. I mean, it just was fabulous. And you know, it took away any stresses of the airport situations we'd had. We had a few stresses over the airport. And remember me mentioning I didn't understand why we could go out with 10 kilograms of luggage but come back with 7. Well, all came to clear when we went back on our return trip, because we were flying back with Emerald Airlines, which is a smaller plane with a propeller, not the big Airbus that we went out on. All comes under the umbrella of Aer Lingus. And they were saying tag your own bag. I was thinking, why at check-in? So I went over to tag my own bag. She said, oh, you don't need to, you're not putting it in the hold, are you? And I said, well, I was intending to. Oh, she said, well, weigh your bag. And luckily our bags came under 7 kilograms. Had they gone over, we'd have had to pay €35 extra. I was thinking, why? We've already organised the ticket. So that's why if you go over the 7 kilograms on a small plane, you had to pay extra. Luckily ours just fell under that. So we got away with that. But then you've got the added problem of when you get to security, you have to take the liquids out of your bag. Now, my husband went off with my bag by mistake, because they both look the same. I went off with mine, his, and I'm thinking, what's he got in his bag? Has he got some kind of lotion in there? I know I had foundation makeup and some kind of body cream. I was thinking he won't know that. So that just all tipped it all upside down. I got told off for not putting things out of my clear bag into another plastic bag. But anyway, we got through it. So, the stresses of airports, eh? Anyway, we get through these things, and we're back home now. The sun is now shining today. It's Tuesday today, and I've just walked around the garden. I'm going to show you that in a minute. So, here's a quick look at all the outfits and the wedding. And my niece said I had permission to show as much as I wanted to, even the kids. So here we are. They're on the video, and I hope you enjoy it. I'll put some music to it. I've arrived at the hotel, which is in Gorey in County Wexford, for this wedding. It's now 10 to 2 and the wedding is at 2:30, so I've just got ready. We arrived at 1:30, so we're cutting it fine. We got to Dublin no problem, but we were waiting around to get our hire car, so that was delayed us a little bit. But we're here now. I'm exhausted, I haven't had any sleep, probably an hour last night, just waiting to get up. And yeah, I'm not a very good traveller really, thinking about the times, you know, trying to get up in the morning, make sure you get up. I start to worry about it, but anyway. Here's the hotel room, quick flick round, and I'll show you the hotel a bit later. Nothing much to see really, standard hotel, but outside is absolutely chucking it down. But we've got beautiful blossom as we've come into the hotel. And at home we left absolute sunshine, so we've come to rain. Good old Emerald Isle. But we're all indoors anyway today, so it doesn't matter. So we'll go and see everybody now. This is good, isn't it? Look at Look at these tables. It's like a corporate event. There's that many place settings for everyone. I just was blown away by it all. Here's my sister Debbie next to me with a beautiful yellow dress from the Pretty Dress Company. And my hat kept slipping. And there's Joe next to Debbie and then Richard next to Joe.
Hold on.
we gonna spat our noses right off of our faces. There won't be nothing but
one more time. One more time.
Just thought I'd end the vlog with something relaxing, and before I do, I didn't have balayage caramel pieces put in my hair at the hairdresser, so I thought I might as well just add that in. I went to the hairdresser's the day before the wedding, and we went with a lighter colour that I normally have because I said I don't want it too dark, and I'm happy with the colour that she put on. So I didn't go for extra caramel splices put through my head just in case it went wrong. And I'm sure it wouldn't. But anyway, I thought I'd go through a little relaxation technique because I was listening to a podcast with Rangan Chatterjee. I like him, he's a doctor. He's the sort of doctor, he looks so kind that you'd end up crying for a year if you went to see him. He's that empathetic and he likes to think outside the box. And he knows that 70% of illness doesn't need medication, if not 100%. And he was talking to another favourite of mine, Deepak Chopra, who's a neurologist or a neuroscientist in the past. And he sort of gives every piece of wisdom you can possibly think of. And Rangan was asking him what would advice be on one of his podcasts. What would the advice be for people to go away with, to take away from the podcast? And he said, here are 4 intentions for the day, because I've written it down on my little piece of paper. So I'm just going to do it with you. So if you want to relax for a minute, he says, close your eyes, feel your body, feel the sensations from the inside out, and mentally just say these words to yourself. Joyful, energetic, body. Say joyful, energetic, body a few times to yourself and feel what happens to your body. The next thing he says is put your intention on your heart. So you can put your hand on your heart with your eyes closed and mentally say to yourself, loving, compassionate heart, and feel it in your heart. Say it a few times. He then says, bring your attention to your third eye, which is between your eyebrows, with your eyes closed. Mentally say, reflective, alert mind. Reflective, alert mind. And see the clarity of an alert mind, but just remain quiet and reflective. He then says, expand your awareness outside of the boundaries of the skin and let it pervade all of space and time, and mentally introduce the intention, lightness of being. So just say to yourself quietly in your mind, lightness of being. And now you can open your eyes, and if you have all of these qualities of your mind every day, you are free. And I'm telling you now, when I did this, I've had quite a few stresses over the last few days. I'm not going to go into, but I will say that it has helped me immeasurably. And I can almost detach myself from the chaos and upset that I've experienced in the last few days. And yeah, very good indeed, very good advice, and I can't thank him enough, Deepak Chopra. He does some brilliant podcasts along with other neuroscientists, and he did mention something about epilepsy, actually. He said that he'd been in hospitals years ago, and he was talking about the vagus nerve, and that they use drugs these days and metal to stimulate the vagus nerve. And I know somebody who had it, actually. She had seizures, but she didn't have epilepsy. So she used to just clonk down in the middle of a classroom, have a seizure, but they didn't say it was epileptic activity. There's no part of the brain they could identify. So they put this metal into her, near her neck. Anyway, she goes on to have a baby and it all cleared up. So it might have been hormones in her case. But he was saying that you can actually stimulate your own vagus nerve by doing meditation and deep breathing. You don't need drugs. What have I said all along? I bet it's something in the neck. Anyway, apart from that, I think this is a really relaxing minute or so of your day. So if you feel like doing it, write what I've said down and just close your eyes and have a bit of a relax. And on that note, I shall say have a lovely week, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now. Tuesday after the bank holiday, and it's a lovely, lovely day. We had rain yesterday, but really sunny on the day before. So Saturday was gorgeous, and no, I'm talking about Easter Sunday. It was gorgeous. Monday was rainy. And I'm just about to show you my alliums that are just bursting, and I'll show you when they're fully out. Just to turn the camera around. Here they are, poking through. I keep having to get the ants off the peonies because otherwise they take all the sap and they stop them coming out because the buds start to dry up. Won't be long, next few weeks, week or so if we get some sunshine. Today's dinner is chopped carrots, sliced sprouts, spring cabbage and duck breasts. And what I've done is I've scored the duck breasts after patting them dry with kitchen towel, salt and pepper on the top, pan fried them on the top of the hob just to crisp up the skin, and pop them into the oven. It says 15 minutes, but I'm doing it for half an hour. And then I've put Morello cherry jam into a pan, and I'm going to heat that up. Well, I've already heated it up, I'll heat it up a little bit more and pour it over on the side to cut through any. It's not greasy, the duck breasts, they're not greasy, they're just succulent normally, but the Morello cherry just sort of cuts through any fattiness that might be in that duck breast. And duck is so nice to have as an occasion. And Gressingham duck do these lovely breasts so they don't smell fatty at all when you cook them, unlike a whole duck would if you cooked it. So that's on tonight's menu. I shall show you the picture when I plate it up. Plated up and ready to eat. All 3 plates done.